I'm perhaps stating the obvious in saying that when it comes to any pervasive technology, there's a significant difference between concept versus proof of concept in the marketplace. And this particularly applies to the Indian marketplace. So to offer up global proof points around the growing 5G spectrum, may I please now invite on stage the head of public policy for the Asia-Pacific region at GSMA, Emanuela Lecchi. Huge round of applause for her, please.
Let's see if this works. Yes. So thank you very much for inviting me again. This is the second year I'm coming here. And I just would like to build up on some of the inspiring conversations that we have heard about. So, you know, when we talk about 5G, we talk about three elements of readiness. One is technology readiness. We have heard from Ericsson, we have heard from Qualcomm, we have heard from a number of speakers that technology readiness is there. It can be there even quicker than expected, especially in India. One is market readiness. You know, do we have the verticals there? Do we have the operators there? Do we have the legal framework there? This is what Mr. Arun from ET Telecoms was talking about 1 minute ago. And one is operator readiness, not just the mobile operators, but all the operators that have to make this a reality. Now, when I'm talking about global 5G developments, what I'm giving you is the information that we have as part of the GSMA intelligence. This is based on our projections. The projections are based on 2 days' data. Now, starting from Gopal Mittal, we have heard that really we don't know anything about this, and it can be a lot faster than predicted, and we don't have a crystal ball any more than anybody else. So bear with me, and I'll tell you what we believe to be the case based on our data today and based on our projections. So let's see if this works. So I hope you can see that. This is a general slide about 5G is coming, and where do we see it coming? So 2018 is when we had the South Korean preview for the Winter Olympics. We know that in the US there have been announcements, and so we are expecting that, and we have heard it from Ericsson Marie 1 minute ago, in the US we are going to have use cases starting, and indeed even handsets ready from later this year or early next year. We know that South Korea, China, and the UAE will be early adopters. We expect that a number of countries will start deployment from 2020, and we expect that this will happen in India as well. We do have standards ready, the latest standard adopted or frozen, as they say, in June 2018. And we expect that by 2022, 2025, we will have 400 million people by 2022 adopting 5G and network coverage of about 25%. Now, we also expect that a number of countries will be early adopters, and the early adopters are China, Japan, Korea, the US, possibly Europe. There are a number of issues around Europe readiness. Now, if the forecast is ready there, 1.36 billion 5G consumer mobile connections by 2025, then that globally would equate to, you know, an average penetration of 15%. But in reality, as you can see from the graph, we expect that this will only really start from a relatively small number of countries. You have heard from the mobile operators in India, and we expect that globally, the 5G take-up path will be longer than LTE. That is because of the reasons that you heard discussed this morning. LTE speeds are improving. The case for 5G may not be as compelling as or it may be. We certainly hope that it will be, and Jim was talking about the fact that the GSMA Mobile World Congress had one of these tests on 5G back in February 2018. But we expect that on the supply side, the operator CapEx will be managed prudently, for the reasons that we have heard. So, that's what we, from an operator's perspective, that's what we expect. We expect that the overall growth outlook for telcos will be conservative. You can see that those blue dots charter a growth for the operator's revenue of about 1% per year, starting from 2020. The majority of connections growth between 2017 and 2025 is expected to be IoT industrial. So machine to machine, as you have heard throughout this conference. What about India? The one thing we have heard time and again is that India is different. We will see probably more use cases that will be tailored to India. We certainly see a lot of government and policy initiatives happening in India that really we expect will make a real difference to market readiness. And therefore, you know, this is what our data suggests, but we are very happy to be proven wrong and to see an acceleration towards 5G adoption and rollout. What we are seeing is that India, for the moment, remains predominantly 2G, that there has been and there continues to be a very fast-changing environment towards 4G connection base to increase very rapidly. What we also see is, of course, that the mobile operators have to maintain quality of service over 2G, 3G, 4G, and now 5G, which, of course, is another challenge. We do estimate that 5G consumer adoption will not impact 4G to begin with, reaching 5% of total connection by 2025. As I said, you know, we don't have a crystal ball. We can be proven wrong, but that's the expectation based on the data we have. And we have a number of data concerning India in the next slide. And this is the regional outlook as we see it in smartphone adoption, in unique subscribers, connections by technology, operator total revenue, and CapEx. CAGR 11%. So that's a snapshot of the situation as regards mobile operators in India. And with that, I think I can end my presentation, and thank you very much for your time today. I kept it to 10 minutes sharp. Thank you very much. Bye.